Welcome back to the channel, everyone, in part 2 of our look at the origins of the Batman Who Laughs and his Dark Knights. Last week we covered the Red Death and Murder Machine. This week we look at Dawnbreaker and the Drowned, two more alternate versions of Bruce Wayne from the Dark Multiverse, a multiverse that is collapsing in on itself without no chance for survival. Our first stop is Earth 32. A teenage Bruce Wayne, wearing the cowl of the Batman accented by a familiar shade of green, recalls the night he lost his parents to the bullet of a common thief. He remembers how, when the mugger left him standing in the alleyway with his parents lying dead at his feet, that he felt nothing in that moment. There was an emotional void within him. He did not even feel fear. Attracted by that absence of fear, a green ring descended upon the young Bruce, declaring that he had overcome his terror and welcomed him to the Green Lantern Corps. Bruce was ignorant of the Green Lantern Corps, but he took the ring anyway. All he cared about was the vengeance he needed to take, and soon that vengeance was delivered upon the man who killed his parents. He wanted to kill the man, and at first he tried, but the ring refused. However, Bruce Wayne does not give up, and soon his willpower to kill was stronger than the ring's ability to adhere to safety protocols. A blast of energy, green and black, light and dark, expelled from the ring and disintegrated the thief who killed his parents. Only slightly satisfied with this, Bruce returned to the scene of the crime, his parents still lying dead on the ground, and asked the ring to bring his mother and father back to him, which it did, in the terrible form of the undead. Monstrosities that even Bruce could not condone. Alone and devoid of any emotional anchor, Bruce Wayne continued on as the Green Lantern, at first being called a hero by the citizens of Gotham, but then his methods, his extreme methods of dispensing justice came under scrutiny. First by Harvey Bullock, who paid a steep price by challenging Bruce, and then Commissioner Gordon himself, who tried to reach out to Bruce, tried to get him to see that he was breaking the law just as much as the criminals he punished. The Scarecrow, executed. The Penguin, missing. Gordon needing to know where he was because he had detectives on the case who were also missing. Commissioner Gordon demanded answers from Bruce, demanding to know what Bruce had done to Oswald Cobblepot. And we see Bruce remember how he initiated a blackout around the Penguin's men, how he has pushed past the pure light within the ring, the void within Bruce now becoming the driving force of his power. We see Bruce carry the Penguin into orbit, his body being torn apart by collision with space debris and the forces of implosion. Gordon explains that he is not an idiot, that he knows who this Green Lantern is, that he was there in Crime Alley 3 years ago, and asks Bruce if he is tired of feeling this way, so empty, but at the same time, so full of hurt. Bruce Wayne asks Commissioner Gordon if he has a daughter, and before the commissioner can say anything, Bruce turns and states that she'll have to grow up alone without a father. He then proceeds to obliterate Jim Gordon in a flash of green anger. This was the last act of madness for the Green Lantern Corps. They arrive, en masse, Guardians and Lanterns, to confront Bruce, to retrieve the ring, to ensure the balance of the scales of justice are returned. However, they underestimate this member of their corps. Bruce initiates another blackout, and within it, his own constructs, built of the black void within his heart, and he is able to easily massacre the Green Lanterns and the Guardians in brutal fashion. And as Bruce stands in front of his Green Lantern, he confesses that, even with the most powerful weapon in the galaxy in his possession, he still felt vulnerable, that he wanted to rid himself of this feeling. And in that moment, a moment of transformation, he became something more than just a lantern, more than the Batman. He became the Dawnbreaker, reciting his oath. With darkness black, I choke the light. No brightest day escapes my sight. I turn the dawn to midnight. Beware my power, Dawnbreaker's might. As the Dawnbreaker emerged for the first time, Earth 32 of the Dark Multiverse began to crumble, and with that destruction came that familiar smile and familiar voice with his familiar offer. He names himself the Man Who Laughs, and offers Dawnbreaker a chance to go to a world bathed in light, a world where he can extinguish that light, and how his master Barbatos has demanded it be so. The Man Who Laughs tells Dawnbreaker that if he joins them, if he destroys the light in this new world, then he will get back the only thing he wants, his parents, back to him alive and well. We are then transported to Earth Zero, the first world and brightest beacon of the multiverse, and Coast City. Dawnbreaker cannot believe there are so many living within the light, and he initiates a blackout, releasing his constructs when Hal Jordan arrives to confront him. Hal wonders if this is his Batman, who remains missing in action on Earth Zero. Dawnbreaker turns, threatens Hal, and releases his constructs, for which Hal and his ring are no match for because they have no understanding of how or what it is. In the moment before Hal Jordan's death, he, like the Flash before him, is saved. Dr. Fate protects him and teleports him to an unknown location. And without Hal Jordan to fight back, the Dawnbreaker unleashes against Coast City and demands that they too feel nothing inside, just like himself. And the world then fades to black. Our next chapter begins with our next Dark Knight. A hand stretches up from the depths to the surface of the water. A being emerges, and we learn about her love, Sylvester, who has been taken from her. We then hear about the man who laughs, the one who sent her to this place of light, to Amnesty Bay, to see everything drowned. This being recognizes how this world, the light, prospers, and beings live happily here, but it is at the expense of lower tier worlds, like those of the Dark Multiverse, those from which this being calls home. This bright world, a place of haves and have-nots, the disenfranchised, and this being is here to take back what belongs to her, what is owed to her, and she drowns the entire town under the sea. Bryce Wayne has received her payment in full. The resistance that Bryce expected arise, this time in the form of Aquaman and his queen, Mera. So begins the tale of the drowned and the rhyme of the ancient mariner. Aquaman attacks the drowned. However, for her, he is slow and he is weak. Mera's telekinesis proves futile against this interdimensional foe, and as the fight continues, the drowned is not intimidated, as she has before defeated many Atlanteans. On Earth 11, a year in the past, the Atlanteans appeared to the surface world. Bryce, as the Batman of Earth 11's Gotham City, had hunted down the rogue Metas to avenge Sylvester and make the world safe. Now the Atlanteans were led by Queen Mera, and they claimed to come in peace. However, Bryce knew better. And Bryce was correct, as the Atlanteans attacked. The peace talks collapsed, and the Atlanteans proved vicious in their military tactics. Bryce returned that viciousness and eliminated their queen, thinking that would end the war. But it did not. The Atlanteans retaliated by drowning all of Gotham City. To win, Bryce went to the extreme and altered her genetic makeup to become just like them. And with that DNA came the knowledge to create the Dark Water, an engineered army to fight by her side. And with that army, this new Batman defeated Atlantis. With this victory came a price, though. A life underwater in the darkness, with only the bat signal as the last light of hope shining through the murkiness. One night, the light stopped working and Bryce went to fix it. And he was waiting for her, the one who laughs. He diagnosed her mistrust as the reason for the world being cast into the darkness of the sea, and Bryce agreed. As well, there was something she could trust about the one who laughs. There was something familiar about him that she could not quite identify, something reassuring. The one who laughs explained that it really was not her fault. It is the fault of the light above. And he showed to her the lower-tiered worlds, her world, and how they suffered so that other higher worlds, like Earth Zero, could thrive. And he showed her the others, like her, the Dark Knights, her brethren, her partners in the same suffering. And he laughed, pointing out Earth Zero as the world she should be focused on, the place where she should reclaim the light from those who greedily keep it for themselves. She should rise up, and she should be the one who does the drowning. Back in present time on Earth Zero, under the water, the drowned continues to battle Aquaman and Mera. She opens a portal and releases her Dark Water army upon the two. They quickly overwhelm Aquaman, who begs Mera to warn the Justice League. But the drowned does not allow that, grasping Mera by the throat and transforming her into a creature of the dark water, drowning the opposition. Aquaman screams in terror and loss at the sight of the queen transmuted, a sense of loss the drowned knows and revels in replicating for others to feel. As Aquaman remains in the clutches of the dark water, a moment from death, Dr. Fate intervenes and transports Aquaman to safety. The drowned does not recognize this magic, this symbol. However, in that moment of failure, there is solace, because Bryce knows that wherever Aquaman is, he is feeling the despair and pain of loss and will live with that until she has a chance to meet him again and end him forever. And as the waters consume Amnesty Bay, the drowned is perched atop a sunken lighthouse, her symbol shining through as a sign of intent, her intent to drown the entire world. And those are the origins of Dawnbreaker and the Drowned, the third and fourth of the Dark Knights recruited by the Batman who laughs. Next week, part 3 and the final 2, the Merciless and the Devastator, all leading up to the origin of the Batman who laughs, his relationship with Barbatos, and the greater scheme to destroy the multiverse. What do you think? Did you enjoy this week's episode? And do you think this is the most dangerous group that the Justice League has ever faced off against? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want more comic book fun, check out the Welcome to the Comicverse playlist by clicking on the thumbnail at the end of this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, it really helps us out each week. Thank you for watching, and remember, I'm still your reluctant gringo, and from south of the border, salute and a huevo.